why life has to break you sometimes so hard. As you can tell this time, welcome to the Rich Woman's Podcast, live from Dubai. Is the most beautiful weather. So I just had to record outside. On my way, when I was flying to Dubai, I was listening to a song by Birdie. And in this song, she's singing that sometimes life has to break you so hard. The love song. And I contemplated this a lot, that it's true. I don't believe that you have to hit rock bottom, but we are experiencing those moments in life where we are simply because life has to break us. Life has to break our ego. We experience that's why these moments where all of a sudden everything that was always working in your business, like let's say how you made money, all of a sudden isn't working in you. Those moments like how you were having relationships always work till all of a sudden it doesn't. Those turning points where you can't logically understand what's happening, why this is breaking, because it always worked and all of a sudden it doesn't. And I wrote like a 3-part Instagram series about it. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend that you follow me on Instagram. There's no reason not to. And we have so many insane things coming up in 2026. Also, if you haven't joined Divinely Fucking Rich and we were waiting for one of those moments, like for the perfect time, right? This is our 6-month program where I'm showing you everything I know about hitting your big financial goals. And the special is if you join now, hopefully, but it's still available by the time this podcast comes out. But we're having a live event, a 2-day live event, 2-day live event at the end of January, the last weekend of January in Dubai. If you really finally find rich, or the Rich Woman's Room, which is my annual mastermind, the retreat, the event is included. Otherwise, if you feel like, yes, let's do it, let's be like wild and free and do some wild things in Dubai the last weekend of January, just go to our website, richardhappiness.com, and we'll see a massive banner saying live event, join here, and you just can get your ticket for the event. So perfect back to this Birdie song, which hit me so hard. Just thinking about it, I'm having tears in my eyes. It's ridiculously. Trust me, we are going somewhere with this episode. So what happens is that when life breaks us, we find it so uncomfortable. We don't like it at all. We want it to be over instantly. The fixer, like, ooh, there's a problem. Let me find the solution instantly, instead of like, wow, what's like life trying to tell me? What's like happening right now? What's breaking? Which part of me is breaking? And I definitely can tell for myself, as I've experienced it massively in the last 2 years. Really, like, it's one thing to answer the question, like, who are you without? Like, who are you without your multi-millions? Who are you without your wildly successful business that's only going up? Who are you without your wildly successful client testimonials? Like, who are you without all those like validation things? And it's one thing to contemplate and come up with, I am a woman that, however, the moment actually life breaks you and you experience your biggest fears, something inside of you breaks. First, it's an ego, like your ego breaks, as I'm like, fuck, like I thought I have everything under control. I thought I can control anything and every outcome, but you can't. So like, what's happening? So we learn to surrender to a higher power, however you name this, God, the universe, Jesus, to something higher that is in charge, that teaches us again that life is not coming from other people, but through other people. Other people that purchase from you, they are just a support system of God. But where is it coming from? They have the impulse to join you or to purchase from you, right? When you find money on the street, like there's so many miracles, right? Like in my diary, I have a category of like things you can't make up because they're so wild. Like you just can't make them up. And you experience those kind of moments, you just know they're divinely guided. They're coming from a higher power. So the moment life breaks us, you have this ego death, I call it, right? Where it's ego. For me, it's a definition of it's just about me. Me. More money for me, more clients for me, more, I don't know, more podcast downloads for me, more followers for me. It's just coming from this like egocentric approach, just like what's in it for me, me. There's nothing wrong with it, right? The ego can be very powerful, but in a business, it has to be about your clients, about your mission and what you're bringing into the world. That's a whole different podcast episode. So in the song, Birdie talks about like why life has to break so hard. And then it continues with, but if we're willing to let it go, and for me, what instantly came to my mind when I listened to this, like, let go of our attachments, the money, the clients, the success. And also if afterwards, and this is where the first part, right? I'm happy to say, I'm 100% certain every human soul experiences at least one ego death in their lifetime. It's a must. It's happening. So many people, what happens now is the ego death happens and I'm just like I'm dead. But what happens is after you've been broken completely, not just a little bit, she explains this really well in her song. Like you are not being, she uses a word in another song, Terrible Love. We're being broken by an ocean or two, not just a tiny bit, right? It's not like life breaks you with a tiny fear you have. Life breaks you with your biggest fear. The biggest fears you're having, like life is throwing you into it. If we have the courage to have a look at it, to see that, wow, this is a beautiful divine moment, we are being broken and we know how life works. That means if I'm brave enough in those kind of moments to keep showing up with an open heart, I'm repeating this, I keep showing up with an open heart, the sky isn't even the limit of what's possible. The energy, the connection we have to the divine afterwards is something I've never personally experienced before. The depth we are bringing into the world is something we haven't experienced before. And because the heart is so open, what we create with our art is just so magical for the rest of the world. It's like all of a sudden, God is making up for the time when it felt like he wasn't there. And the gift you receive and what you can create afterwards, it's just so mind blowing. And you see this like in artists, like music artists. I love music. Like it's something that touches my heart and soul over and over again. For instance, the way Adele became successful after the massive like heartbreak she did go through. She was fully broken in her heart, in her fear. But because of that, she kept because of that ego break that happened, right? That felt like ripped and teared her apart, she kept showing up with an open heart. And don't we all agree, the music she's creating is like on a whole freaking different world. It's just somewhere else. I definitely can hear this in the music of Birdie. Like once you start paying attention to your favorite artists, no matter the genre, they all talk about it. They all sing about it. They all like channel this, and their biggest arts, their biggest breakthroughs, their biggest number one hits came afterwards. So if you're currently in a phase where life is breaking you, celebrate it. Like ask, this is something I always do. Okay, have I learned all the lessons? If the answer is yes, okay, like can I move on? If I'm receiving intuitive yes, then I go. And if not, I've received this for 2 years. Every time I ask, like, okay, am I complete on this journey? Have I learned all the lessons? And the answer was so often no. So I kept asking, okay, life, show me the lessons, bring it on, bring it on. I want to navigate through it. And why we don't have a choice when life breaks us. We always have a choice of how long that phase lasts by actively asking for the lessons that we have to learn. We can't rush through the lessons. The lessons have to be learned, felt, and embodied. You know, it's like, it's not just like, oh, let me read a book and I would ask you, okay, what it takes to read about it. Don't remember. This is, if you're running like this, if you're rushing like this through life, the lessons will keep showing up. But if you actually can sit, reflect, okay, what are the lessons? Show me the lessons, creator. What do I have to learn? Okay, have I learned this? And if not, like, how can I learn? It's like, which angle, which aspect am I not seeing here and yet? Show me. This is how I talk to God, the creator. I ask for guidance. I ask for the lessons. And for me personally, it has been 2 very uncomfortable years. I think I've never experienced anything that lasted for so long. The ego breath. And at the same time, I'm so grateful for all the lessons I've experienced. I wouldn't change anything in the world for how my last 2 years have been, because it made me the woman who I am today. And just this experience of walking through life with an open heart and the miracles I am seeing and receiving on a constant daily basis are mind blowing. Like right now, as I'm recording this, it's really cool. A pigeon is coming to me very close. Something I've learned, for instance, right? Many people have a lot of judgment about pigeons, like dirty, disgusting. Some are kind of scared. And pigeons are actually like from a spiritual perspective, one of the oldest birds here, very old souls. And what happens is a human misses so many life purposes in this lifetime, right? Very often you don't incarnate as another human soul, but as a bird or as an animal. So it's something I've learned from my teachers is you always look at the birds, you send them love, you send them energy, and if their soul wants to be set free and incarnate into something higher, this is the energy you send. And these are the things I am just so present in life. I see how life is talking to me, nature, the animals, the people. There were times where I felt so lonely. And maybe I'm going to do the next podcast episode about this, because you've never really focused on the YouTube channel, more on focusing on growth of the podcast, right? However, there is one YouTube video that did go viral 2 years ago. And I think it had over 30 or 40,000 views. And you just have like 1,000 followers on YouTube. And this was what you can do when you feel low. I think I'm going to do the next podcast episode, because being lonely and feeling lonely is a conscious decision. It's a choice you've made, because we can't be lonely. And yeah, if you would like to hear more about this, drop a like in the YouTube comments. Would love to connect with you. If you're in a phase where life breaks you right now, ask for the lessons to be learned. If you're not in a phase where life is breaking you, celebrate it. And now you are prepared when it happens, you know what to ask for and how to navigate with it. And for everybody that already has been broken by life, what are the masterpieces that you are creating now from the lessons you've learned? Like, what's the energy you're tapping in, you're using and sharing with the world? And of course, if you haven't joined the Binding Fucking Merge, do it now. If you already know I want to be in the world for a full year and have my eyes on your business for 12 months, then join the Rich Women's Room, our mastermind, or we just start with our live event happening in Dubai the last weekend of January. And all links you find on our website, richandhappiness.com. I love you. I see you in the next episode. Oh, and it truly would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to the show, if you're a frequent listener, if you love the show, there's anything on your heart and soul, we would love to share it. Leave a review. Thank you so much for being here. Share it with your friends. I talk to you soon.